Polls are showing that a supermajority of Americans want America First Trumpism to dominate politics. In this video, we're going to take a look at two polls, one showing the sentiments of Republicans and the other showing the attitudes of Americans in general. And we're going to see that Donald Trump has indeed overwhelmingly won the debate, such that regardless of what happens on January 6th, the war for the political and cultural heart and soul of America, in many respects, has already been won. You are not going to want to miss this. Welcome, everyone. I continued Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. The happiest of New Year's. Dr. Steve here, ready to bring you our latest episode celebrating the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a regular part of this channel where each and every day we focus on optimism and encouragement in the midst of all the defeatist fake news nonsense spewed out by the mainstream media. But first, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's Prepper's Peak new solar water heater. Now, with all of the lockdowns that we've been witnessing over the last several months, with the new ones that are coming back, the solar water heater can turn out to be our very best friend. The solar water heater is an amazing device. It allows you to heat and boil water outdoors using simply sunlight. It can heat water in as little as 30 minutes, and it'll work anywhere the sun shines. You could use it to boil water. You could use it to cook noodles and rice. You could sterilize the water for drinking. Hello, you campers. It's easy to clean. It can be used anywhere there's sunlight. And the best part is if you click on the link below, you'll actually get an additional 20% off their already reduced price. So don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Click on that link below before they sell out and get your own Patriot Sun cooker today. All right, let's dive right in here. Now, regardless of what happens with President Trump's challenge to this election on January 6th, which, by the way, looks increasingly like it's going to be officially the most contested election in both the House and the Senate in over 100 years. We'll have to do a video on that. It's going to be exciting, to say the least, with Vice President Mike Pence casting the deciding vote, as it were, over the electors. But regardless of what happens, it does appear that even if the Democrats were to win a battle or two, they have clearly lost the war. The war, the culture war for the heart and soul of this nation, the United States, has been overwhelmingly won by President Trump and the deplorables, the MAGA crowd. And there's really no way around that, as much as the deep state propagandists and the mainstream media want you to think otherwise. America today is a thoroughly nationalist, populist, and traditionalist nation, and all the demonstrable shenanigans, particularly in municipal voting areas, can do is simply prolong the opposition to the inevitable. Now, the latest poll that came out from Rasmussen shows that Trumpism, first and foremost, has won over the Republican Party, and overwhelmingly so. Trump is the new Reagan. Trumpism is now dominating the new Republican Party in a way comparable to how Reaganism dominated the party over the last 3 decades. But whereas Reaganism was a highly ideological dominance, forged as it were during the Cold War and the global battle between capitalism and communism, the liberal West versus the Soviet East, Trumpism is a highly populist dominance, having been forged by virtue of the new political animosity between the people versus the political class, right? The deplorables versus the deep state. Another way of looking at this is that the deep state is every bit as determined to eradicate the deplorables as the Soviet Union was to annihilate Western capitalism. The animosity is just as stark. And in fact, we can say that we've entered into a new Cold War of nationalists versus globalists, the people versus the political class, the deplorables versus the deep state. But these polls are any indicators. The Berlin Wall erected by the swamp is about to come crashing down. According to Rasmussen, nearly 75% of Republicans want the GOP to become, in 3 simple words, more like Trump. 3 of 4 GOP supporters want their legislatures, their governors, senators, representatives to govern according to an America First, nationalist populist paradigm as represented by Trump. The poll surveyed 1,000 likely voters, and it found overwhelming support for the president and his America First agenda. And keep in mind here, this is huge for January 6th, since this survey means that any Republican senator that wants to go along with Mitch McConnell's attempt at stopping the opposition against Biden in the Senate is simply committing political suicide. I mean, there is no way that Republican senators can oppose a president with 75% support among Republicans, 95% of whom voted for him on November 3rd, giving him more votes than Ronald Reagan ever got. So there's no way that Mitch McConnell's attempt at stopping any and all opposition against Biden in the Senate can succeed with numbers like that. You could bet that there's going to be a formal objection to the Electoral College filed by a senator. We already know that more congressmen are going to formally object to the electoral vote. They're all being led by Mo Brooks and Matt Gaetz. And they're amassing more opposition than we've seen in over 100 years to an election. And so we'll see at least one senator join in, and that's all you need. All you need is one congressman, one senator formally file an objection to the Electoral College, and both chambers then of Congress, they have to debate for 2 hours per objection. And they're already planning on objecting to at least 6 states. They may even object to all 50 in order to have Congress have to debate over the course of several days, since it would be mandated a 2-hour debate per contested state. And once that happens, the dam is going to break. No Republican senator can vote against President Trump without destroying his or her political career. Not with nearly 75% support. Romney, McConnell, Murkowski, Lamar Alexander, they will all get primaried, guaranteed, if they vote against the president. So these numbers are amazing. And they're going to light a fire of accountability under these senators. Now, it gets better, okay? It's not just the GOP that's seeing a conversion, as it were, to the America First agenda of President Trump. The nation as a whole is moving in this direction, again, by upwards of 75%. Now, before we get into that, I do want to personally invite you to our exclusive New Year's virtual conference on January 9th, 2021, to help you feel prepared for the year ahead. And we have got awesome guests lined up. You ready? We've got Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano. He'll be with us. Senator Mastriano made national headlines by spearheading the Gettysburg hearings in Pennsylvania. It was recently at the White House, and he said President Trump is more determined than ever to win this thing. So Senator Mastriano is going to be with us, as well as Ian Smith, the New Jersey gym owner, defying their governor's tyrannical lockdown orders. So we're bringing you the amazing patriots who are fighting on the front lines for you and for me. Now, seating for the conference is limited, and seats are going fast. And to make it even better, you can save 30% off your registration as part of our New Year's special. So do not wait. Make sure to click on that link below and take advantage of our New Year's registration special. And you'll be glad to know that a portion of the proceeds are going to go to Good Neighbors Home Repair. So not only are you going to get blessed, but you're going to bless others with your registration as well. So do not wait. Click on that link below and register for our New Year's virtual conference today. You don't even have to leave your house. Saturday afternoon, you're going to love it. All right, you're going to be glad to know that the results from the Rasmussen poll parallel a Harvard-Harris poll taken just last year that sampled nearly 2,000 registered voters. Now, unlike the Rasmussen poll, these are not Republicans only, okay? These are all voters, Republican, Democrat, Independent. And what they found was that basically 3 in 4 voters evidenced political loyalties and sentiments characteristic of President Trump's nationalist, populist, America First platform and agenda. So, for example, when it came to immigration, voters were asked if they would be more or less likely to support a candidate who, and I quote, have a moral duty to create an immigration system that protects the lives and jobs of our citizens, okay? That's a direct quote from President Trump from one of his State of Unions. Would you vote for a politician who held to that view? An astonishing 75% of voters said they would support a candidate with that immigration position. That was 88% Republicans, 75% of swing voters, and of course 90% of Trump supporters. They all said that they would be more likely to support a candidate who believed that it was our moral duty to create an immigration system that protects the lives and jobs of our citizens. Now, here's where it gets really interesting here. When you break down that answer along racial lines, the vast majority of white Americans, 79%, want an immigration system that benefited American citizens rather than foreign nationals. But it was almost as high for black Americans. 75% of blacks want an America First nationalist border security. Now, when it comes to trade, a total of 65% of voters, supermajority, said they would be more likely to support candidates who wanted to put tariffs on China, as Trump has done. And again, in terms of its breakdown, the Economic Nationalist Policy Platform on Trade garners support from 87% of Republicans, 61% of swing voters, and of course, 90% of Trump supporters. When it comes to foreign policy, roughly 84% of Republicans, more than 60% of Democrats, and 76% of independents said they would be more likely to support a candidate that opposes endless foreign wars. This anti-war platform is the most popular among conservative voters, 84% of whom said they would be more likely to support a candidate that talks like Trump on foreign policy. And again, an astonishing 70% of all voters are more likely to support a candidate that wants to pull American troops out of Syria and Afghanistan, just as President Trump has done. So if this Harvard-Harris poll combined with the Rasmussen poll of GOP voters are in fact accurately assessing the current political sentiments of the American electorate, gang, we've won. We are now officially a nationalist populist electorate, which does not bode well if Biden and Harris are inaugurated. That deep state globalist reset is going to be met with a populist uprising that will make the Trump revolution look tame by comparison. So what all of this means is that the electorate has clearly changed. It has moved from the more ideological mindset of the 20th century that pitted capitalism versus communism to a far more populist mindset of the 21st century that pits the people versus the political class, the ruled versus the rulers, nationalism versus globalism, traditionalism versus secularism. And the sea change in the electorate promises to have a powerful effect on what happens not only on, but far beyond January 6th. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. And you'll definitely want to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Gallup has just released its latest poll, and President Trump is the single most admired man of 2020. Biden just got humiliated. Let's put it this way. Trump is 3 times as popular as Biden. You're not going to want to miss this video. It's going to make you excited beyond all. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.